Top 5 Fastest Classic Muscle Cars. Still faster than modern cars? Welcome to Vintage Wheels Chronicles. Today we're taking a look at the legends of speed, the fastest classic muscle cars that could still hold their own against modern machines. These weren't just powerful for their time, they're still shockingly quick by today's standards. Let's count down the top 5 fastest classic muscle cars and see if they still have what it takes to smoke today's competition. 1. 1966 Shelby Cobra 427 Super Snake. This beauty, Cobra 427 Super Snake. The Shelby Cobra 427 Super Snake is pure, unfiltered insanity. Built by Carroll Shelby himself, this beast took the already brutal 427 Cobra and added twin superchargers. The result? Over 800 horsepower, in a car that weighed under 2,500 pounds. This wasn't just a muscle car, it was a missile on wheels. Only 2 were ever built, making it ultra-rare and legendary. It could hit 0-60 miles per hour in just over 3 seconds. Even by today's standards, that's blistering. With a top speed near 200 miles per hour, it left everything else in its dust. It had no ABS, no traction control, just raw power and skill. The Cobra's aluminum body and tube frame chassis made it incredibly light. That, paired with monster torque, gave it terrifying acceleration. It had a 4-speed manual and required real driver finesse to handle. It was as dangerous as it was fast. One of the 2 original cars was destroyed in a crash. The sound of the side pipes alone would make your heart race. While not your typical muscle car, it carried American V8 aggression in a lightweight body. No modern car feels quite as wild or untamed. Even hypercars today owe something to the Super Snake's outrageous spirit. It's a reminder that power without control is both thrilling and deadly. For many, this car represents the peak of American speed. There may be faster cars today, but none with this much soul. The Cobra Super Snake is the ultimate faster-than-modern classic. 2. 1970 Chevrolet Chevel SS454 LS6. The 1970 Chevel SS454 LS6 was Chevrolet's muscle car masterpiece. At the heart was a monstrous 454 cubic inch, 7.4 liters, V8 producing a factory-rated 450 horsepower. But most experts agree it actually made closer to 500. Torque was off the charts at 500 pdd, launching the car like a cannon. It could do 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 5.4 seconds and quarter mile in the low 13s, or better with slicks. That's still quick by today's standards, especially for a full-size car. It came with either a 4-speed manual or a heavy-duty automatic transmission. The cowl induction hood fed cool air to the engine and looked aggressive. The styling was classic muscle, wide stance, black stripes, and mean attitude. Despite its size, the LS6 was built to move. It became a legend almost immediately after hitting the streets. Even with all its power, it was still street legal. The suspension wasn't fancy, but the straight-line performance was unmatched. It was the king of GM's muscle fleet. Today, it's one of the most collectible American cars ever made. Its brute force approach still appeals to modern muscle fans. Compared to modern performance cars, it still earns respect. No electronics, just raw displacement and old-school engineering. The LS6 proves that sometimes bigger really is better. It's a timeless icon that's still fast and always feared. 3. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona 426 HEMI. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona was a car built to cheat the wind and dominate the track. It came with the legendary 426 HEMI V8, pumping out 425 horsepower. But what really made it special was its aero design. A massive rear wing and nose cone. These weren't just for show. They helped the car reach a top speed over 200 mph at NASCAR tracks. On the street, it could hit 0-60 mph in about 5.3 seconds, and the quarter mile in the mid-13s. That's still quick, especially for a car designed over 50 years ago. The Daytona was built as a homologation special. Just enough were made for racing rules. Only 503 units were ever built, making it rare and highly sought after. Its high-speed stability made it feel surprisingly modern at triple-digit speeds. The 426 HEMI was a race engine adapted for the street, loud, lumpy, and full of power. The 4-speed manual made it a driver's machine. The Daytona wasn't just a muscle car, it was a weapon of aerodynamic warfare. It was the first car to officially break 200 mph in NASCAR. Handling wasn't great by today's standards, but its straight-line speed was unmatched. It had a huge presence, both visually and audibly. You couldn't ignore a Daytona driving past. It looked like it belonged on a runway. Even modern muscle cars rarely reach its top speed. It's a legend in both performance and design. For a car from 1969 to go that fast is just mind-blowing. The Daytona 426 HEMI isn't just fast for its time, it's fast, period. 4. 1969 AMC AMX 390. The AMC AMX 390 might not be as famous as a Camaro or Mustang, but it could keep up with the best. Equipped with a 390 cubic inch V8, producing 325 horsepower, it was compact and quick. It was one of the few two-seaters in the muscle car world which kept the weight down. 0 to 60 mph came in just over 5 seconds, quicker than many bigger competitors. The car weighed under 3,200 pounds, giving it a strong power-to-weight ratio. The styling was unique. Sharp body lines, flared fenders, and bold colors. The Go package added performance upgrades like better suspension and dual exhaust. It handled well and looked unlike anything else on the road. Quarter-mile times were often in the low 14-second range. That kind of performance would still shock many modern cars today. The AMX was a true driver's car, with no fluff or unnecessary weight. Its short wheelbase made it feel nimble, but also a bit wild at the limit. It's often overlooked, which makes it a hidden gem among muscle cars. The engine delivered strong mid-range torque for effortless passing. AMC didn't have the budget of the big three, but the AMX proved they could compete. It was also successful in road racing, adding to its credibility. Inside, it had a sporty, driver-focused cabin with big gauges and bucket seats. The AMX 390 didn't just look quick, it was quick. Today, it's an underrated classic with real performance chops. It's still fast enough to surprise a modern Mustang at a stoplight. 5. Alter 1971 Plymouth GTX 446 pack. The 1971 Plymouth GTX was the last of a dying breed. Luxury meets brute force. Its top engine option, the 446 pack, packed 390 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. With 3 two-barrel carburetors, it delivered instant throttle response and explosive speed. It could do 0-60 mph in about 5.5 seconds and run the quarter mile in the low 13s. Not bad for a full-size Mopar beast weighing over 4,000 pounds. The GTX was the gentleman's muscle car, refined yet ferocious. It came standard with performance suspension and heavy-duty brakes. The styling was bold and aggressive, especially in high-impact colors like Tour Red or Citron Yellow. It was available with both automatic and 4-speed manual transmissions. Inside, you got luxury touches like wood trim and high-back bucket seats. The 446 pack was smoother than the HEMI and easier to live with, but it still delivered incredible straight-line speed and torque. Its exhaust note was deep and thunderous, classic Mopar music. The 6-pack setup made it one of the quickest big block cars ever built. It's a rare combination of power and comfort. Today, a well-tuned GTX can still shock modern performance cars. It's one of the most well-rounded fast classics out there. Sadly, the GTX disappeared after 1971, another victim of rising insurance and emissions. But its legacy as a fast, refined muscle car lives on. It's a car that proves old-school brawn still has bite. These classic muscle cars weren't just fast for their time. They're still serious contenders today. From the wild Cobra Super Snake to the raw power of the Chevelle LS6, these cars help define American speed. Let us know in the comments, which one would you race against a modern car? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more muscle car legends, only on Vintage Wheels Chronicles.